Breathe. Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
And don't dribble little dots of mustard.
No?
No. You take your knife and you smear. Men smear.
Smear.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the goddamn pinky down. All right, make your fingers like iron, all right?
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
It's me, Nicole.
And me, Tessa.
And Kim is here.
She's the Agador Spartacus.
Because we're talking about the Birdcage.
Birdcage,
Why
1996?
just
Why
we
not?
love it? Because why not?
Because
no
it's
reason.
fun. I love
Sometimes
this
we have
movie.
reasons, sometimes we don't.
No, I love this movie.
And
That's
before we
why.
get into it, I just want to tell everybody to go check out our website.
Oh, yes.
I finally put something on our website. It's literally just housed the Spotify episode player and nothing else except for
Right.
links to our social media. But I actually put some shit up there. So go to doomgenerationpod.com, check it out. Tell me if you like what you see. And if you don't, or if you want
Right.
more stuff, or you have ideas for different stuff, please let us know.
Let us know.
And so from now on, instead of telling you go here to Instagram or here to Twitter or here to Patreon, all of that shit should be
You will find it
right
all
there on
at the website.
doomgenerationpod.com.
Correct.
So
Let's get into the Birdcage.
Robin Williams as Armand Goldman.
Armand Coleman.
They say it so many different
Right?
pronunciations.
Nathan Lane as Albert Goldman and / Starina.
Of course. Dan Futterman.
I know.
I would change that name for sure.
Seriously.
Is that his real
You're
name?
going
or is
to
that
go
his
with
stage
that?
name?
Futterman?
As Val Goldman.
Val. Hank Azaria as Agador.
Calista Flockhart as Barbara Keeley.
Lil Calista
Lil
Flockhart.
Calista.
Diane Wiest.
Getting another Wiest infection.
Yes, as Ms. Louise Keeley.
Gene Hackman as Senator Keeley.
And Christine Baranski as Katherine Archer.
That's all I have.
That's all I have as well. I know that the two National Geographic
National Enquirer.
National Enquirer guys are people. They're
One's
people,
from Frasier.
actual humans.
I have a note.
And the other guy, one's from Heavyweights.
Okay.
And also the stage director or whatever at the club.
he
is
was from
somebody.
something?
Like he's somebody, and I should have wrote his name down, but I didn't.
I'm sure all these people are somebody, but
Well, we are family. Miami Beach. Or no, it's
South Beach. South Beach. I also wrote Miami Beach because I think it's in Miami, but South Beach is like
South
a
Beach,
small
Miami?
part of my. I don't know.
I don't
We don't
know.
know
It
Florida.
says.
I know we have listeners in Florida. Please don't hate us. We've never been there.
Well, this is actual. The place is the Carlisle Hotel. This building
Okay.
is the Carlisle Hotel at 1250 Ocean Drive, Miami Beach, Florida. That's maybe where I got that
Miami.
from. Miami Beach, where the Golden Girls are.
And we zoom in from the ocean into a nightclub called the Birdcage.
I love that this shot looks like a big old long shot. It's not. It's like from a
It's
helicopter.
like the beginning of
from a
Lost
crane,
Boys.
from a whatever. Yeah,
like
where it goes
flying
like
in.
or
Oh
like
God,
that,
is it a vampire movie? No.
right? Or
No,
like
no,
that
no.
Goodfellas shot or something, like
Right.
whatever, where they go like all the way into the club from out in the beach.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But yeah, they go into the Birdcage
Where
which is-
Starina and the Goldman girls are on the marquee.
Yes.
The Goldman girls. There's a line out the door. This is
I
a
know,
popular
this is
spot.
like, well, because the whole thing, it's like the whole strand. It's all hopping. It's a
This
hopping.
is my interpretation of going to Florida.
Yeah, because
feel
I
like-
would want to go to this
Right? This is the part
Florida. I
you
want to go to the Art Deco district.
Yes.
Which is where some of this is filmed. I want to see the building, the little holes in the thing outside their apartment and the stairwell and their other stairwell that looks like Blanche Devereaux's bedroom.
Yes.
I clocked it.
Very Golden Girls.
Very, very Goldman Girls.
Goldman girls.
Oh, hey.
I guess that's probably, his name was Goldman, but
Well,
like,
yeah, but also
I feel like
in
it's the gold, you know,
Think about that.
right?
All right.
And Armand's out meeting and greeting the patrons. He's like
Right.
the club owner. And Starina's cutting it close to stage time. They're
Right.
like,
She goes on in 5. Where is
where
she?
is she?
And like,
Agador runs down to tell them she's not going to go on.
she won't go on.
I don't know why.
No. Well, they're like, we have Kennedys here. And he's like, is it Ted?
Right?
He's like, God, I wish we could get Ted.
they have
And they're
brain
like,
worms?
No, it's the younger ones. He's like, give him coffee.
Is where they got the brain worms.
Well, oh my God, that's right.
Because of course you have brain worms.
Because that's
right.
common.
Sure.
So yeah, Armand goes up to find out what's going on with Starina, and she's like, "Oh, the relationship's over."
Oh my
and
God.
Shuts the door in his face.
And Agador is like my favorite Hank Azaria ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's like, no, she won't go on. She's still in her robe. And like Armand tells the stage manager, like, get Carmen the understudy ready just in case.
Yes.
So he goes up there, and that's when it's starting. It's like, Victoria Page will not dance the dance of the red shoes tonight.
Which I don't understand.
Victoria Page is dead. She died alone,
I don't know who that is.
weeping for her lover.
Maybe.
I know. It's from the fucking red shoes. It's from my
Insert-
favorite movie. It's from
Insert
my
cricket
favorite
sound.
movie.
What movie is that from?
The Red Shoes.
Oh, duh.
Victoria Page.
Red
Moira
Shoes.
Shira.
Not the Red
Not
Shoe
the
Diaries.
Red Shoe Diaries.
That's
the
been
Red
requested for
Shoes.
us to do a little special
my
on the
God.
Red Shoe Diaries.
I might
could
do
consider
that. I
that.
could get into that.
Same vein as the show you guys will watch.
Oh,
Silk
it's like a Silk Stockings.
I know.
Yeah.
We gotta get back into that. But I only want to watch it up until what I know happens at the end of the
I know I don't.
crossover. I don't want
wanna
anything to
see
do with that.
part.
I feel like once we found that out, it was
We
kind of
we
like,
gave up. Yeah, we were like, "Don't you just ruined it?"
you know, yeah,
You
I
ruined
know.
the
I
fucking
was like,
show.
you fucking ruined it. I
Yeah.
ruined it by looking ahead.
Because I had
Although
no
would've
idea.
been, the Rampage I would have gone on if I
had
would
it
have just
sprung
found
on
out.
us? Oh, had
I'm
we
glad
been
I
doing
looked it
live
up.
watches?
Oh my God. The face crack.
I know. So many years after this thing aired, suddenly
I know.
we
Like
discovered.
all of a
we're
sudden
like,
we found it out. Like, oh my God.
Anyway, we used to watch Silk Stockings live. If you guys missed that, and that reminded us of that.
Oh, that's so funny. So anyway, like she
Armand busts in, like, "Are you trying to ruin me?"
right, like you must, and you have to go on. Like I need my Pirin tablets quickly.
My Pirin tablets. Yes.
Oh my God, I'm in such pain, Agador.
You don't care about my feelings. All you care about is your show. I want
Yeah.
a palimony agreement.
Now, don't you take that tone with me. That tone that goes with you're a man and you know everything and I know nothing because I'm a woman.
You're not a woman.
I know.
I was adorable once, young and full of hope.
Right now, look at me. I'm a short, fat, middle-aged.
Insecure thing. I
Yeah.
made you short.
I made you short. Oh, you.
So the stagehand comes in like, "So should I send Carmen on?" And she's like,
Yes.
"Oh,
Yes, send
Not
her on
Carmen.
board. The show must go on.
I'll go."
I will go on.
And
I will
Agador
not
gives her her
disappoint.
Pirin tablet.
Like, what are you doing? You
And
giving
this
her drugs?
powder puff.
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
before he confronts him about the Pirin tablet, this powder puff on the wand.
You're shaving now.
I want it just for my décolletage.
I just want to do it at night.
Yes,
I
I want a
just
little.
want to do it at night.
Just like I want one of those perfumes with the little
yes.
because somebody who used to babysit me had those glass perfume
Yes.
bottles with the little
I
like
want one
tassel
of those.
squeezy bottle thing.
And I want
one so bad.
little powder puff on a handle.
I don't wear powder nor do I
Nope.
wear perfume. I
It's
want
all
both of
pretend.
these things.
I just want the air in the air.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it on anything.
Probably not.
No. I'm just going to
But yes, I want all of this. I want to be a drag queen without actually
Yes.
putting on any of this stuff because
No.
it's hard work.
It's hard. Hard.
And so she's like, "You don't love me anymore, blah, blah." She's
Right.
getting ready.
I need
And,
my Pirin tablets. And like, that's when Armand's like, what are you giving her, drugs?
and he's like, "I scratched the AS off the aspirin."
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Which it
It's
is,
so,
because like
Judy Garland.
it's just gonna keep her heart safe. And
I know.
like,
Yeah, she's just heart safe now.
Take
she's
away
on a
the
regimen.
pain. Yeah.
She's on a regimen.
so because she has seen like the white wine in the
Oh,
fridge,
right,
so
yes,
she thinks
I know.
Armand's having an affair
You've
because
seen-
neither
yeah,
of
I
them
only
drink white wine.
red, and neither do you. So yeah, like
So she finally goes, takes the stage. Starina, the crowd cheers, and she's like mega Liza Minnelli.
oh my God, the boots, the muff, the hat,
Everything.
the gloves, the thing. I
She
am
does
fucking with
comedy. She does live singing. There ain't no
Yes.
lip syncing here.
No,
these
she's
are original
singing.
songs being sung.
Yes, she's got a muff with accessories.
Yes, but Armand goes sneaking away.
Right? Like, hold on.
Uh-oh,
I
is he
do
having
love
an
that
affair?
joke. Though. Well, don't look at me like that. I didn't kill him.
Oh,
He
about
died and he left me everything.
and so he goes sneaking off, and you think,
Oh,
is he
maybe.
having an
Well,
affair?
because this seems like a really romantic encounter.
They set this up they wanted you to think that he was maybe having an affair, because this is a strange relationship that like he sets up for his 20-year-old son,
Right?
where he needs to go get
And
white
even, like,
wine
the
and light
interaction
candles
with, like,
and
the
hair
hair and
touching and the
face caresses and whatever. Like, once you find out, you're like, oh, the face caresses. Like, none of that's weird.
it's his son.
If that's
so you're
your,
like,
yeah, that's your child.
and
but like,
20, which like back in the day, this to me was a grown ass man. Now with a parent of a child who's about to be 20.
absolutely not.
I get Armand's point of view here. Like
Absolutely not. And she's
You
what,
get
17?
Yes, girl. No.
Well, technically,
No.
the state was
The
in because
answer
of the
is
No.
no.
No. So you're telling me, well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, so his son has come, and instead of telling his husband, our son,
Right,
who
'cause
we've
he-
raised probably since he was a toddler.
He
I
was
think
young,
Starina's
went
been
through the bar
around, or
mitzvah
Albert's
and
been
all those
around.
other
Yeah.
things, because the mother was never around.
Never
She
around.
Had the baby. He paid her off for the son,
Right.
and she never had anything to do with him.
And so
for 20
Albert's his
years,
mom.
He's been, yeah. Well, because he even says that at the very, very end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This is my mother.
Yeah. And so to like totally leave mom out of this
Right?
whole
It seems
conversation. And
weird.
like, yeah, he's gonna
Well, because he
flip
asked,
out, but he should. You're 20.
he asked for it specifically. Val asked for him to sneak away. Just him.
Which means right off the bat, Val is embarrassed of his mother.
Well, I
The
have
Starina of the show.
when we get to a little bit deeper into this, I have a lot of questions about Val.
Val needs to answer some questions.
Val needs to answer. Dan Futterman, where you at?
Futterman.
Futterman.
So yeah, so he announces to Dad, I'm getting married, and Dad's like not happy. He's
you're
like, you're
only
only 20. I'm
like-
not giving you my approval. Don't come to me. Don't ask me for shit.
Oh,
and he's
right.
like,
Well,
okay.
This is the part where he says, like, he's like, I'm the only one in my frat who doesn't come
My
from a broken
frat.
home. So do you tell your frat brothers
That this is your dad
who,
and his
unless
husband?
it's a LGBTQ fraternity, or also / Jewish fraternity? Do you tell
Right.
them that either?
That you're from a
Because
Jewish gay couple?
historically, right?
Is that acceptable?
Does he talk
at Florida
about that?
State
Like,
or whatever the
Barbara
fuck you go?
knows.
Yeah,
Babs
the girlfriend knows. Yeah,
But she's also 17. She's
She's-
only 17.
and they've been dating for like a year.
That's okay. That's my other question. So
16
she
and
says
19.
to her folks,
yes.
we've been
Sleeping
sleeping together
together.
for a year. 16's Futterman.
You fucked up.
You
done
Futterman
futtered it up.
You futtered it up, Futterman.
But yeah, so Dad doesn't approve, and
No.
he tries to put a hard stance down, and he's like, "Fine, I'll just leave." But he calls his
He's like,
bluff,
no, you little pisha, you called my bluff.
pulls him into a hug,
Yeah,
tells
right.
him it's okay.
He's like, yeah, it's all right. It's
So-
just too soon. Like, I thought this would happen, but like,
Cut to Calista Flockhart, who is not even 18, telling her parents, "I'm getting married."
they're like, no.
And so her mom is not happy, but her dad is like not even paying attention because he's
No,
like
because he's up
running
for re-election.
Yeah.
He's like, do you have to do this now?
And she's like explaining to her mom who her boyfriend's dad is. He's a cultural attaché to Greece.
Well, he's like, they're not the ones that funded that Maplethorpe exhibit. And I was like, probably.
And the mother, she's a housewife.
Oh, you don't hear that anymore. That's so nice.
Armand calls the fiance to congratulate her right at this moment.
Right.
And she's like, because she told her parents they were gone. They were in Greece,
Right,
so they
that they
couldn't
were in
meet
Greece,
the
and like her
parents.
dad's on the phone. Like, get off the phone, and like he puts his dad, who she's never met, just on the phone, and he's even telling him like, no. You just told me as a 20-year-old that you're marrying your 17-year-old, which they say later she's 18, which she must have had a birthday in there.
Apparently, right in that week.
So it's
But yeah.
okay.
So yeah, it's fine now. 'Cause she's 18. now.
Yeah. Now it's cool. I waited until the moment she turned 18. We were only friends up until now.
And Albert comes in from the evening in his clown costume.
Oh no, this is not just any clown costume, bitch. This is not just any costume. This is the dress. She's dressed as Judy Garland dressed, singing this one rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And
Oh, my.
I dare you to fucking watch it. Her dressed as a hobo.
Oh my.
Singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and I dare you not to cry. I dare you not to cry.
Seen it.
It is like the rendition of
And why
Somewhere
would
Over
they
the
not
Rainbow.
have shown at least a little clip of the? If you're gonna put him in this full-on
Because
costume,
people know.
give me a little. I didn't. Give me a little taste.
People know.
And so he realizes Armand tells him Val's here and he's still asleep in his bed, and
Right.
he goes in to check on him and is like, oh, and now he
and
feels
does,
stupid that
the mom thing, and
Yeah.
takes the laundry and
gives him a little hair ruffle
Right.
and walks out. And so so he's relieved. So the next day, Albert's out at the day market.
oh god, yes, and this is where I said this is apparently the Art Deco region of South Beach or Miami Beach or what have you,
And I don't
everybody
know-
knows everybody.
This outfit that he's in, I could not clock what it was specifically. It was giving me, and Chris was watching with me, and I'm like, what is it? What is he? He's giving me something, and he goes, Robert Downey Jr. in Weird Science when he was wearing the vest and the small glasses, and I was like. And I'm like, no, but then when you look at it, if you
Kind
put
of a
that
little
same
bit, it's like the
outfit on Robert
pastel
Downey
version.
Jr. in the 80s, like,
Yeah,
it
even
kind
with
of
the
is.
clog.
Yeah, even
'Cause he
with the
would wear
clog.
that kind of footwear.
Did he wear weird shoes?
Yes, I think he did wear
Yeah, in
weird.
Less
Remember
Than
in Less Than
Zero.
Zero, he had the Mary Janes on the
Yes.
whole time.
Mary Jane.
And he's out shopping for his piglet.
Oh yes, the piglet is home. No lobster
Val.
tonight.
Ugh.
I need to get a cake.
And Armand's waking up at home to the sludge that Agador has made
I thought
for
I would make
coffee.
sludge. I thought they would make a nice change.
And he wants to know, Agador wants to know why he can't be in the show.
He's like, when he comes back earlier and he talks about like, what do you look like, Lucy's stunt double? He's like,
a
no, I'm a
Lucy meets-
combination,
yes.
Lucy and Ricky.
Lucy
And then
and
when he
Ricky.
keeps asking him to be in the show, like he is so Lucy and Ricky all the
Yes,
time.
exactly. And he wants to know why he can't be in the show. He's like, you're afraid of my heat.
My natural Guatemalanness, my heat. Yes, I'm afraid of your heat.
Yes, that's why.
And of course, Albert comes in, bag lady, and like loves the Turkish coffee. Delicious.
Oh, delicious.
thing.
Yes. And so he tells Armand, you can't stand sharing your son with me.
Right. Like you've always been jealous.
And Armand tells him Val is getting married. And he's like, no, come on.
He can't do that. He's
not
just
happening.
a baby.
Some girl he met at school. And he's like,
Ugh.
uh-oh. Oh,
Right.
oh no.
Yeah.
He really is getting married. And Val comes in right at that moment like, oh.
He's hyperventilating, like, oh, good, you've heard.
Yes, this is the reaction he expected.
Exactly.
So cut to Senator Keeley, the
It's like,
fiance's
oh.
dad.
Our little baby's growing up and leaving home, and we'll never have any more.
Yeah, no,
Not
they
without
will
a miracle. But yes, so Senator Keeley, he's watching himself argue.
Not. Yeah, on WNN, so
One of
CNN,
those,
whatever.
yeah.
And they're watching it, and he's like, "Oh, this is a great show. It's just them fighting."
Right, it's the most intelligent show on television.
Great.
And they talk about like he's so glad that he hopped on Eli Jackson's campaign wagon or whatever because Bob Dole is too dark and liberal.
What?
Bob Dole.
Wow.
Bob Dole doesn't need this.
And so the mom is wondering out loud if Val's from Old Money
Oh yes. I wonder if he's from Old Money.
as a cultural attaché.
Right? Like that's like a diplomatic post.
And the campaign manager calls the senator to tell him that Jackson died in a minor
Underage.
sex worker's bed.
Right.
And he's
And
like,
black?
God, I'm the VP of the Coalition
like,
of Moral Order.
He is the co-founder with me. So yeah, now it's like fucking crazy mode. She's like, but wait, what if there's like a wedding? Right? Is this where she tells him or not yet?
Right now it's just that he wants candy, and then Albert's back
I want
crying
candy,
over.
bubblegum and taffy.
Exactly. Back at the Goldman homestead, Albert's crying over Val's baby
yes, the
book while
little
Armand's
scrapbook.
playing the piano.
Oh God.
And the sex worker is on TV, and it's fucking Angela from Boy Meets World.
Oh my God. He was smiling, so I thought it was fine. He looked a little weird.
And reporters are camped outside the Keeley's home, and Barbara's
Right.
like, I need to tell you something about Val's parents.
Right, but before she can,
Dad comes home through the window.
First, mom thinks, she's like, oh, they can't blame us for this. Like,
Right, they
he
think
was
it's all about this scandal.
He was like redneck trash. We had nothing to do with him socially.
And right at that moment, before she can tell her that Val's parents are two men,
Yeah.
Dad comes home through the window.
Right. And she was
And
like,
that's when she's like, I have a solution. The mom's
right,
like, a
this is
white
where-
wedding.
Exactly. Like it would be
Family, morality,
oh,
tradition.
That's the cover of whatever.
People, time, Newsweek.
They're
Get the
using it
Pope's
for-
blessing.
PR. He's
Yes.
like, who did he say was too liberal? Franklin Graham? Wait. Did he say Pat Robertson?
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole? No, he didn't say Bob Dole. He was. They were talking about pastors.
Oh, yes. Billy Graham was too liberal.
Yeah, Billy Graham.
It was too liberal. Yeah.
Isn't he dead too?
I think so.
Oh,
Is he?
good.
I hope. I mean, no. I mean, I don't know.
Isn't Pat Robertson dead too?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
And who was the one of our childhood? Tammy
Oh,
Faye
Jimmy
and
Swaggart?
Jimmy. No,
No.
Bakers. The
Oh,
Bakers.
the Jim Baker,
Jim and Tammy Faye.
Baker.
Those are the big ones I remember.
Uh-huh.
That mascara.
And Jimmy Swaggart, I remember too,
Yeah.
because he was crying because he loved them titties, yo.
She mentions to her mom during this conversation that his dad's name Armand Coleman.
Coleman. Right. So that's another thing. Like, is he out here? How did he get mixed up with her? How did they meet? How
College.
did they, like, I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, she doesn't seem like an asshole necessarily, but like,
I don't know.
she's 17.
He found him a cute young Calista Flockhart at
I
college.
guess.
She's a freshman. He's a junior, at least.
I guess.
And so the mom wants to go to South Beach immediately to have dinner with these people.
Right.
And then
Or,
they
like,
can go
just
have
to
dinner
get
with
out
the
of there.
Bushes.
Yeah, because they're going to stay with the Bushes on whatever island that is that they fucking live on.
Cut to Starina at rehearsal.
Yeah, this young dancer, Celsius, is so like, ugh. He's chewing gum.
Yeah, Alfred's upset that he has to work so hard and this dude is just chewing
Just
gum.
everybody else could just get by. He's like, chewing gum helps me think. You're wasting your gum.
So Val comes down and wants to talk to Armand
Right. He's like, I am in the middle.
of doing, yeah.
This
He's
is
trying to put him
rehearsal.
off.
This is the show. He's like, no, I need to talk to you. And he's like, all right, well, everybody.
And this is where he comes on and does the you do fussy, fussy, fussy.
He's telling him, he's like, you are a fantasy. She has created you. And then when you come into being, she becomes your fantasy. He's like, I don't think I get it. Try more gum.
Yes.
He was like, will you keep it? Yeah, fussy, fussy,
Fussy,
fussy.
fussy.
Martha Graham, or Twyla, Michael Kidd, or Madonna.
But you keep it all inside.
Yes, all inside.
So Val tells his dad Barbara and her parents are coming and that there's more.
Yeah.
Her dad's a conservative senator running for re-election.
He's like, am I supposed to know who that is?
Yeah,
Like,
he
what the
has
fuck
no
do I
clue.
care?
And he's like, well, but you're going to have to be someone else. He's like, but I don't want to
wanna
be someone
somebody
else.
I would like. It took me 20 years to get here. I'm not going to do this shit.
But you would mean everything to me if you would help me for one night.
Right.
You're going to marry this woman.
I
It's
know.
not one
How
night.
are
It's
they
the
also-
rest of your lives.
Yeah. Is she planning on never speaking to her folks?
Does she
again?
not think that after this first night when they meet, that after the wedding, the whole media is not going to know this is a gay nightclub owner?
And how are they going to work with that last name Coleman Goldman. He's not.
They're not
Jewish.
gonna know her last name is actually Goldman when
Are they
she marries
all gonna
him?
have to change their last name to
Oh
Coleman
my God.
just to satisfy
for their
these
20-year-old
fuckers?
son?
Wow. Wow. That's how you know they're 20 and 17.
Yeah. And he's like, well, how am I going to make Albert into a housewife?
He's
You
like,
just
well, you
send
just
him
send
away for
You
a
try
few days.
sending him away.
Ugh.
Like, I feel like
And also, you're going to have to get rid of some things in your house before tomorrow night.
like
All these dick
everything.
statues.
Everything in your fucking house. And I'm sorry. Did you just wipe foundation on my fucking
Yes.
wall?
He's like, you're going to have to be a little less obvious. He like wipes his foundation off and wipes it on. What did he say? I just had these sponge painted.
I don't give a fuck if I just had it sponge painted or not. Did you just that's not gonna come off.
I know. And it's not like Agador cleans. So who's getting that off
I
the
don't know
wall?
what Agador is doing. Agador's cleaning the pool in a G-string.
So he does clean. He cleans the pool.
Come, Gloria.
At least.
With Gloria and the entire Miami sound machine.
And the stage manager comes to get him right after he wipes his makeup on
Right.
the wall.
She's trying to take his gum.
Chewing gum away.
Oh my God, I have to go deal with this.
And he tells Val, yes, I'm a middle-aged F-slur, but I
Yes,
know
I
who
wear
I am.
foundation. Yes, I live with the men. Yes, I'm a middle-aged F-slur, but I know who I am, Val. Took me 20 years to get here.
I'm not letting some idiot senator destroy that. Fuck the senator. I don't care what he thinks.
Care what he thinks. Yeah.
Cut to news reporters outside the senator's home again, and
Right.
Kenny from Frasier is out there. That's the big guy.
Right.
He's the
That's the guy from Heavyweight.
the news radio manager or whatever
Right.
on Frasier.
He has
he's
a
out
name.
there trying to catch the limo driver's attention, and he slips him
Right.
some money to find
It's
out
like-
where the senator's going.
Right. And they tell him. Right. Is this
Yeah,
what they
he tells him
He tells
South
South
Beach.
Beach.
And then Jay Leno's on TV telling jokes about the death of Senator Jackson.
Right.
And the Keeleys are packing up. Kevin's going down. He wants to go down the ladder, leaving his wife and daughter to face the media
I don't want to go
alone.
out there alone. He's like, you'll have Barbara with you. They don't want you.
And guess what? He goes down the ladder, and there they
They're
are.
already out there.
'Cause that's
Now
what
he's-
you get, boy.
Now he's being photographed jumping out of a window onto his. Well, they think that he's going to jump out of a window. They're like, no, don't.
He's like, no, I'm just trying to sneak out.
I mean, it's only like a second story fucking window.
I know. And he tells them, oh, me and my family are just leaving town for an event that
Yeah.
may heal some of the bad things
Well,
Jackson's demise has made us feel.
We're just
going
planning
to
a
our
big
farm.
event. We're going to our family farm. And that's all I'll say. And then he has to go back in there.
Yeah.
He does that Nixon thing.
Ah.
I'm not a crook.
Armand and Val are back at home being moody and not speaking in separate rooms because Armand won't play straight for Val.
Which
But then Val
this
hears
is a big ask
Val hears Armand telling Agador, we have to redecorate for tomorrow night.
Yep.
And you need a uniform, like a butler.
Where do I get that?
And so the kid comes out to thank him, and he's all, do me a favor, Val.
Don't talk to me for a while.
Seriously.
I mean, this is
You're
like
about to make me almost get divorced
right.
so that your girlfriend's parents,
like,
who I don't give a fuck about, think I'm straight.
This person raised you.
Yes. This is like, tell your mother to her face
This gives me okay.
that she
now
embarrasses you.
I'm gonna go back to another like old movie, and now fuck, why can't I think of what it is? Oh, where the daughter. There's like a white lady, a single lady, and her daughter, and she has a maid, a black lady, and her daughter. But the daughter that the black lady has passes, so she grows up with the white daughter and goes through all of these things. There's two.
Oh, I don't know if I know this.
There's two movies made. One in the 30s, I think, and one in the 50s. And like she goes through her whole life like denying her mom and all this other stuff, and then she feels really bad when her mom dies.
Oh, I don't know if I know
forget
this
what
one.
Imitation of Life.
Imitation of Life. There
That's
we
what
go.
it's called.
So yeah,
But
they're
that's
getting,
what this gives me.
Okay.
It gives me Imitation of Life. Like he denies his mother.
Yes.
His mother Albert.
his mother.
And he's gonna
Albert.
feel so bad if he goes to Los Copa.
And now the Keeleys are getting followed, of course, by the reporters.
Uh-huh.
And now Albert and Armand are on the beach.
Right. They're having like a whole thing. He's like, you know what?
You should take a couple days
Take
off.
a couple days off. You look tired. Foolish.
And
Why would you
meanwhile-
say that?
I know. Meanwhile, the redecoration is happening.
Oh, they're taking all kinds of
And the
stuff.
queers are putting Playboys in the bathroom and moose
Don't
heads on the wall.
add- that's what they read.
Don't add, just subtract. And Agador is being fitted for his butler uniform.
I want this nice Armani break on the don't just pull it. Do it down there.
And now Albert wants to go home because he looks old. Because
Right. Like, no, I'm tired. I want to go. He's like, no, we'll go shopping. I'll buy you anything you want.
I got to go home and change my shoes.
got-
I'll buy you shoes.
I don't have any peds.
Why can't I go home? No reason, nothing. I hurt my thing.
My thing.
What?
Your thing?
My
No,
ankle.
Well, just go upstairs. I'll go upstairs and get some ice. No.
So he's trying to stop him, but Albert's he keeps going, and he
Right.
walks in while they're trying to hang this moose head, and Val's like,
We've
don't
been
add.
robbed.
So yeah, he screams, we've been robbed.
He's like, it'll all be in place by the time you get back. And he's like, back?
Where am I going?
Where am I going?
And so now they tell him Val's fiance's coming.
Could he have not put it this way?
And we thought it would be better
if you weren't here.
I see.
The monster.
Painful, but that's not important.
No,
I'm leaving.
the monster.
The freak is leaving. You're safe. And he leaves, and they're like, that went well, Armand says, and chases him out.
Oh my god!
I hate you. I never want to see you again.
Never want to see you again.
My heart is breaking.
Oh, he's like, oh, feel my pulse. It's so fast. And I love like how Armand just switches into, yes, okay, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Yes, it is really fast. Let me get you out of the sun into a cafe. Rodrigo, our usual table, water now.
And he's like, you know what? These girls' parents are assholes.
Yeah, they're
and
assholes. It's not about you.
You could play it straight. You could play the
Crazy
uncle.
about you.
We got 5 hours.
Yeah, you're a great actor. I'm a great director. We've got 5 hours.
Woo! Don't dab your mustard on this. So he
my
gives
God,
him
he's,
manly
like, trying to give him,
lessons.
like straight lessons, like playing it straight. Like, okay,
Fix your posture.
we'll start with food. Get your goddamn pinky down.
You schmear. You don't dab.
You know, dab your schmear.
Hold the knife boldly.
Oh, I pierced the toes.
You got to react like a man.
Oh.
So what? It's not the end of your life.
Albert, you pierced the toes.
So what? So he's like, he has him. Who's the manliest person you could think of?
First he was like, well, let's see you walk.
Well, because he has him do the John Wayne.
Well, he's like too swishy. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to give you a point of reference. It's a cliche, but it's a reference. He's like, John Wayne. He's like, oh, okay. And he puts the hat on. Oh, good touch. And he does this.
And he just like does this drunken John Wayne walk, and he's like, actually,
It's perfect. I just never realized that
John Wayne walked like that. And the senator almost ditches the reporters
Right.
before we
driving now.
before we find out if they catch up with him.
I
We're gonna
do
take
love-
a quick break.
Oh,
No,
I'm
what?
sorry. Before we talk about the little thing that they do when he's ditching, like the way that it looks,
Oh,
how
that he's
herky jerky it is.
Yes.
It's like, okay, now we can take a break.
We'll be right back. Hey, you guys,
Guess what?
we got another new discount for you.
Ooh, we're making friends all the time. And this time,
It's art. You got to get over to Roctopusjones_art on Instagram.
do it right now. Roctopus Joe.
We got super cool prints from this dude. We posted them up on our Instagram. We got cartoon Beetlejuice and Lydia. We got an Audrey too from Little Shop of Horrors. He does all manner of crap that you're
all
gonna
the
love.
things you like.
It's all very colorful, very stylized and cool. And if you name drop us when you DM him to order, you get 10% off.
Super secret speakeasy style. You got to slide in those DMs for it, baby.
So Roctopus, ROCKTAPUS Jones, JONES_art on Instagram, or go check. I'll be reposting and linking in my stories and whatever. So go check them out.
Get there now.
And we're back.
We're back, and they're practicing. They're having straight
Taking our straight
practice
lessons in the park.
in the park. In the
Peter
park.
in the park.
And they gotta meet him in the park.
Teaching him the manly handshake.
Right. How about those dolphins, you old so-and-so?
Tries to grab his balls and spit.
Yeah. It's like, how do you think I feel? Betrayed, bewildered, wrong response.
They bump into some dude in the park and Armand tries to get macho. And this dude stands up and he's like fucking 7 feet
He's
tall.
Like, are you calling me an asshole? He's like, no, I was talking to that asshole behind you. But bum.
And he gets a bonk off screen.
Right. He takes a lump. You are very masculine. You are magnificent.
And now Agador's out in his thong cleaning the pool.
Listening to LaBelle.
And they're talking about there's no straight maids in South Beach.
Could we maybe hire a straight maid? But there are no straight maids in South Beach.
And also, by the way, I told Albert he could stay.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, what? It's like, he'll be your uncle. You making me choose?
Val's like, forget it. He panics. He's like, we're not doing this.
Right. And he was like, well, maybe what we need is a woman.
Yeah, we could get away with it if we had a woman. What about your mother?
My mother?
I haven't seen her in 20 years.
In his whole life, I
Entire
guess.
life.
Well, yeah, it sounds like she hasn't had anything. She had the baby because he wanted her to.
I handed it over.
And he paid her for him.
Yeah. So he calls up Katherine.
Yeah.
And he goes out to her office, and she's happy to hear from him. She has
Right.
good memories
She's like, oh,
of this
shit.
time
What's
spent
up?
with Armand.
How's it
Yeah.
going? How are you?
And he does not want Albert to come with him, but he's like, "Oh no, I'll just stay in the waiting room."
Waiting room. Like Albert's not letting him go by himself.
So he goes in, Army Goldman,
How long has it been?
and he's asking her about her husband. Oh, I'm between husbands.
Yes, sit down.
I've thought about you so many times. Whenever I see an ad for the Birdcage, are you still with Albert?
Yes.
And she says the money he gave her started this place.
Right.
So he
He's
gave
like,
her
"Look
must
at
have been
you."
a substantial sum for
And
this
who
small
knows
baby.
what that place even is? For just one small
That place
baby.
is a Body Works place. It's like
Oh.
a fitness center. There's a sign that says Archer Body Works.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what was going
It was
on.
behind Albert in the waiting room. There was a sign that he was sitting in
wasn't
front of.
looking.
But you were just looking at Albert
Of
because
course, because
and I
he's-
was only looking because she said my business right before this.
Right,
What
like,
the
well,
fuck
what
is
is
your
it?
business?
What's your business? Well,
Yeah.
that's why she's so fit.
Yeah. So it's a fitness thing.
Right. She tells him, like, oh, I'm so glad that you were able to do it. I was never very maternal. And he was like, oh, I'm very maternal. And Albert's practically a breast.
Yes. So he's telling her about Val and that he's 20 now and he wants to get married.
Right. She's like, wow, okay. And he's like, and for the first time in his life, he really needs you.
So she's like, she starts bringing up old times. You remember the show we were in together?
Oh, if anything happened on the way to the forum.
And he does. And they do
Of
their
course.
little...
Love is in the air. Bow, 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 bow,
Do the little dance. They remember the whole choreography
Right.
20 years later.
Virgins are distinctly nervous.
I paid the doorman $20 to let me into your room.
$20 in those days.
And so so she's supposed to be 40.
Right.
How old is he supposed to be?
He's 50, he says.
Okay, he's 50. So he was 30 and she was 20.
Uh-huh.
He had never slept with a woman.
Right. Because
She knew he was gay.
or
Or
something.
that
She
he
just,
right, but she paid the
she
doorman
knew
to
at
get
least
into
that
his
he was
room.
still with Albert.
Right.
She knew Albert, but maybe she didn't find out till
Well, so
later.
if she's like, so then Albert's not. He didn't come into his life when he was a toddler. He was with Albert when he
from
fucked
the
her.
beginning. Yeah.
He's his mom.
Yeah, well,
fully.
He said, I don't know,
You
man.
want
I
to
go back
share
and
your
forth.
son with me? You raised him from infancy.
Right.
It's your son too.
Yeah.
Like, he's the sperm donor.
Well, yeah, of course.
But you
she
raised
didn't have
him.
anything to do with it.
Yeah. So anyway, so they are singing and dancing and flirting, and Albert's waiting in the lobby
She was
like, what the
how
fuck?
long did we last? He was like, I know exactly how long. From 2:30 a.m. to 3:45 a.m. 2 times.
So, hey, he was able to...
He was like, well, let me just see what all these straight guys are raving about.
it must not have been that bad.
2 times.
And so she's twirling the hair on his fucking carpet chest.
Oh my God. He's like, yeah, I used to shave back in those days. Could you
Oh my
imagine?
God. The hair in the sink.
Oh, what? The clog.
And Albert bursts in during this flirtation, is
I'm sorry,
like
I couldn't
aghast.
Stop him. Like, ugh.
He storms out and gets in the car and tries to drive, and he clearly does not drive often.
I wanted to ask, did we miss something in between them doing their little show and dance? Because he seemed like he had fallen or whatever.
They were
like, why-
drinking.
I
They had
guess.
busted that bottle of champagne, and I think a fairly significant amount of time had passed of them
Maybe.
drinking and dancing and
Maybe,
flirting.
I guess.
That was what I got from it anyway.
Because
that
that's,
he was a little
he
tipsy.
needed to like wipe his forehead and whatever. And whatever.
He's a
that's all-
50-year-old man doing
I guess-
choreography.
You're right. You're right. And when you're right, you're right. Because he's not the performer. He's the
No,
director.
yeah, now he directs.
You're
So
right,
he hasn't
you're
done
right.
that in a minute.
You're right. So anyway, Albert leaves and tries to drive the car home.
And Armand gets home before him after taking the bus. And he's like, oh,
great.
God.
He's driving back from Miami at 20 miles an hour with a parking brake on. He's like, are we crucifying someone?
Yeah, because
tonight?"
Agador has the biggest crucifix ever. He's putting
like,
on the
yeah,
wall.
I traded it for the moose head.
Don't you know it's the prop for martyrs?
Oh, yes. When Albert
Oh, when
finally
Albert comes in,
back,
yeah.
like, oh,
I'm here for my toothbrush.
right. You all
That's all
laugh
he's
at
there.
me. I'm quite aware of how ridiculous I am.
Another jibe, another joke at my expense.
Yes.
Why
Agador.
not? I'm not young. I'm not new.
No.
So yeah, Agador runs over and
Like,
hugs
listen,
him.
I don't want you to go.
But I'm gonna leave you my best wigs.
Which wigs?
All of them.
Best ones.
All right,
It's
I'll
like,
bite.
okay.
Where are you going?
Going to Los Copa.
There's nothing there but a cemetery.
That's why I'm packing light.
Oh, going to the cemetery with your toothbrush. How Egyptian. So he storms out, and Val's like,
Miss Albert, no. This fucking look back at
yes. And Val's like, it's all right. It'll be better without an uncle. That's your only thought? Your mother
know.
just stormed out of the house to go to the cemetery with just her toothbrush, and all you care about is this fucking girlfriend's parents.
I know.
You little
your
shit.
17-year-old girlfriend's parents.
And Agador has to cook dinner. You can cook, right?
Your father seemed to think so.
So
With this, like,
yeah. So Albert's out sitting on the bus stop that's like the epitome of the 90s aesthetic. Taco
oh my
Bell.
God, this fucking cruise ship that
Yes.
goes by out there.
And Armand pulls up and sits down next to him.
And tells him about his cemetery.
That's beautiful, and your cemetery is
Key
shit.
Biscayne. Well, there is no cemetery, nor will there ever be in Key Biscayne because of the sea level, I guess. Like I looked it
Oh.
up. It was like there's no...
No cemeteries
They
there.
move all the dead people off of Key Biscayne. You can't be buried there.
But
So he's like, yeah, it's a shithole where you want to go. But now
I gotta go there too.
I got to go there too, so I don't miss a laugh. And then he presents him with the palimony papers.
Yes,
I told
he-
you I had them.
He actually did have these written up. Half of everything he owns goes to him.
partners officially. Even the club, like who cares? Like
Doesn't
whatever,
matter.
it's ours.
Oh yeah, this is where he says, "I'm 50 years old. The only place I call home is because you're there."
right. So take it.
So he tries to call the mom to tell her not to come.
Right, but she's already gone.
So now the Keeleys are on the road, still on the way. Mom's thinking the Colemans are their salvation of this scandal that's all over the
We're
radio.
headed towards our salvation.
And cut to Armand explaining to Val that he chose Albert over the mom.
Right. He's like, I had to make a choice and I chose Albert. That's my love.
I mean, they've been together for 20 plus
right.
years.
Your whole fucking life, Valerie.
Valerie. God, I hope. Is there a full name for a dude named Val? Is there a longer name for
Valmont.
like Val Kilmer? Does he have a longer name?
Valerie.
Valerie
Valerie.
Kilmer.
Valerie.
So Dad's getting dressed up as a straight man. He looks like a
loves
fucking
me. I know, he's
low-level
like,
mobster.
I look like my grandfather in this. He looked like this in every photograph. He killed himself when he was 30.
Great.
Which is yikes.
So he's like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work. And he's like, no, we can pull this off. So Albert comes in straight drag in a matching suit.
Yes, they're matching.
They're wearing like, it
and
looks
he's
like
got his pink socks and this headboard.
it's giving me, oh my God, it's giving me the Adamses. It's giving me like Fester and fucking.
Like they would be
like they would
Adamses.
wear these little matching suits to try to be
straight.
Oh my God,
they
yeah.
put on like straight drag.
normies. Yeah, they're normie
Normie
drag.
drag.
So yeah, he corrects his walk halfway into the room and sits down
Right.
awkwardly.
And
What?
like tries to put
No
it
good?
across his leg. What?
What? I'm dressed
the
like
same
you?
as you. So I'm a guy.
But your pink socks.
I know. And he was like, well, one does want a pop of color.
He's like, look, dress this way, you're even more obvious.
Right. That's what you're thinking. He's like, I just wanted so badly to help you, and you hate me.
You hate me. You both hate me.
Yes. Oh, God. He's like, well, maybe if we're lucky.
And
he won't come out at all.
He goes out to see Agador singing, you work hard for the money.
So
Hard for it, honey. In his uniform with no shoes, lighting
He's
all
like,
the
"Go
candles.
put on your shoes." He's like, no, I never wear the shoes because they make me fall down.
Put them on anyway.
Right? Don't mess with me.
The phone rings and it's Katherine calling to say she got a message not to come tonight. And
Right.
Val hears it.
He's like, oh shit, no, we do. He said, just don't come late.
Has Val never seen an episode of Three's Company? Because he just heard
Nope.
his dad say that his mom's going to be his real mom.
Right.
Is going to be there, and now his biological mom he just invited, knowing full well his real mom thinks she's going to be
And
the
he
mom
says that you
tonight
can't
or the
call her back
uncle.
because she's in the car. Can
She
you
called
not
from the
star
fucking car.
69 her?
Yeah, she called from the car, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. But he's like, you can't call her back because she's in the car. You can't.
Star 69 existed in the 90s. Come on now.
It's 1996.
And yeah, so he answers the phone, and this is the first time he's ever spoken to his biological mom.
Right.
And she's like, is this Val?
Like, I'm so glad I could do this for you.
And he's like, oh, thank you. I'll see you in a half hour. Mom. Oh.
Did you just say mom?
She's just your egg donor, Val.
Right?
She wants nothing to do with you.
She's your incubator.
So Armand comes out and hears this.
It's like, this is hell.
And there's a
giant
crucifix
in it.
So now the sun's going down. The crowds are forming in front of the South Beach nightclubs.
Right, they're
and
stuck on the strand.
Keeleys are stuck in the Strand.
There's all the colorful people and all the nuggas.
And Albert's locked in his room.
Yep.
And Val drops it on Dad that, oh, by the way, your last name's Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
On top of
Everything
bam,
else.
bam, bam, bam.
By the
Redecorate
way,
your
we're
house.
also not
Tell
Jewish.
Mom he
because
doesn't
he
get
says
invited.
something about the crucifix again,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, by the way, we're Coleman, not Goldman. We're not Jewish. We also can't be Jewish."
And Agador's tripping, walking over his
I know.
fucking shoes.
I told you.
And he opens the door and introduces himself as Spartacus.
Yes, I am Spartacus, the Goldman's butler. He's like, wait,
Goldman?
Coleman?
Coldman?
The T is
Silent. So they're all introduced. Oh, the mother's running late. So Armand comes in. He's walking all stiff, like,
Right.
oh, come in.
Right. He's all, sit down. This fucking arrangement, it looks like a confessional.
So weird, yes. And this, just the Nancy Drew series of
Right.
books.
Oh, the Nancy Drew. You have the whole set.
Oh, they're my mother's. Because your mother is a queen and
Right.
she reads Nancy Drew just like we did when we were children.
I
Thank
prefer
you.
Trixie Belden.
I do love a Trixie Belden. They're even for me. I don't know that I have a
prefer
preference.
Trixie Belden.
It's been so long
Thought
since
she
I've
was
read
more
either.
cool.
I
That
haven't-
Nancy Drew's kind of a
Trixie
square.
Belden had that little pixie haircut, didn't
right,
she? On
had,
the
well,
covers.
she was like a
Was she a little
70s, She
more-
was giving little Jodie Foster.
There you go.
I
Little
think maybe it's
shag.
a little Tatum O'Neal is what she was giving you.
little Christy McNichol.
A little Christy McNichol.
We're gonna write a whole series of detective novels about Christy McNichol,
Tatum O'Neal and Jodie Foster.
all together as lesbian detectives.
A lesbian detective agency.
Teenage lesbian detective agency. You think we can get the rights to their lives? No.
Agency. Yeah, they're totally gonna let us do
Yes.
this.
Fully, right? Why not?
Jodie.
So they sit down and order Agador Spartacus for champagne.
Right. We want the champagne now. And he was like trying to walk in these shoes.
And the reporters are outside trying to get info on where they went.
Right. And meanwhile, Albert's like bashing around in this room. Like, oh, that's just our dog, Piranha.
Piranha.
We lock him up when there's company.
So Agador explodes the champagne and Val takes over and sends him off to finish the dinner. And Armand's like, oh, he's a brilliant chef. He just has a lot to learn about serving.
And Katherine is stuck on a bridge. So she calls again and leaves a message that she's like, Agador, Armand, Albert, Val, anybody? Like, and they're like, he shuts it off real quick.
yeah. And why did they have to give the 3 men of the household all names that start with A? I'm having
Right?
the hardest time.
Albert,
Agador, Armand, and Albert. Really?
Agador, yeah.
I'm having
And
a
Val,
hard time keeping track. Val don't live there, so whatever.
Valerie.
So yeah, so she's stuck in traffic. The senator's over there talking about the scenery.
Oh my God, he tells the most, like you could
boring
actually
story.
see Armand's eyes glaze
Diane
over.
Wiest's eyes.
I know, her too.
She's
She's
just
like,
oh.
the fall, the foliage was very nice. In one place, we drove there.
It's just like
And they're like, we were just so
driest
wrapped up in your
story.
story. Was that my wife I heard?
oh, what?
Where is she? Where's your mother?
So he's like, we're going to give my wife a half hour before we start dinner. And then suddenly,
Well, before that, like the Keeleys think that they're upset with the association.
oh yeah, they
with
think
them.
this
They're
is
like,
the
"Oh,
awkwardness is
this
about
is what's
their
going
scandal.
on. Like she probably doesn't even want to be in the same room with us. So now Albert arrives in mother drag.
Full mother drag.
Corrects to Goldman, not Coleman. Oh, but in France it's this.
The
and
D
in
is
Greece
silent
is
in
this.
America.
And then in
yes.
the U.S. it's the vulgar Coleman. I never know where we are until I've heard our name pronounced.
And suddenly Barbara wants to hug her.
Right.
And so yeah, it's outside. The news guy is still
Right.
talking
They're
to
trying
their
to find out. Like they look up Armand Goldman and they're
going through all the variations of that
the
name.
name or whatever. And inside, like the Colemans are playing assholes. Meanwhile, the Keeleys are actual assholes.
So yeah, Albert's in there talking about being a woman who stays home to take care of her man.
Right. Like no one should be so busy they can't take care of their man. And Senator Keeley asks about gays in the military
Oh,
and how homosexuals. Do you know what they're doing to the soil?
those haircuts, those uniforms. Who
Right, who
cares?
cares? He's like, I
gays
felt
don't
the
want to
same
be in
way.
the military.
I felt the same way until I found out that Alexander the Great was an F slur.
Talk about gays in the military.
And it was like, oh, I see Mr. Coleman is nervous. He brings up the whole Eli Jackson thing. And like Albert goes, you know what? We don't believe a word of it. He obviously was framed.
That's just what Rush Limbaugh said.
Hey, you know what, guys? Good news. Cancer's been Rush Limbaugh free for 3 years.
Rush to your grave.
Rest in peace.
Yes. So now Armand is in the kitchen with Agador.
And actually, he died
Oh.
in Palm Beach, which is kind of hilarious.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
They did bury him. That way he just floated.
Right.
away.
They didn't. They just flushed him.
Yeah.
They flushed him.
Armand goes to check on dinner, and he's in there guzzling Glenlivet from the bottle.
It's like a whole situation, and he comes back out.
Talking to the senator, talking
Like,
about
to
it's
it like
wrong to kill an
And he's
abortion
like,
doctor,
Val
but
looks pained.
oh,
And then Albert comes through with that. They're just doing their jobs. If you really want to stop abortions, kill the mothers.
you kill the fetus too. You're
I know
killing
what
it
you're
anyway.
gonna say, but the fetus is gonna get aborted anyway. So let him go down with the ship.
He's too good at suddenly converting to
I
a conservative
know.
straight woman.
Because he's playing a fucking role. He's gone so over the top that the senator is like in love.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh,
He's got
I'm
the
in-
hots for him
I'm
for sure.
so into this right wing conservative nonsense that you're so enamored with.
Because Val's trying to apologize for his mother, and the senator's like, no.
She's a smart lady.
Passionate lady who follows her heart, and I just love her.
And her Mrs. Keeley's like, excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. And so Ken. Who's Ken?
I don't know.
Kenny from Frasier.
Oh, I was like, no, what?
I'm all, why did I write Ken? Is finding all about Goldman. They're
Right.
yeah,
Like,
he's
oh,
in
he owns
Inquirer
the
Heaven.
nightclub.
Like, oh, he owns a drag club.
He owns the
Okay.
nightclub here, a drag club. He's a gay couple. They're there in their house. Oh my God.
Armand's up there playing the piano and singing.
I
The
could have
mom's singing.
danced all night.
I could have danced all night. Okay,
Oh man.
we didn't talk about it. This I could see Steve Martin.
Yes.
This musical number I
'Cause
could
that's who
hear
this
Steve
was
Martin.
supposed to be.
Yes.
It was supposed to be Robin Williams was supposed to be Albert, but he didn't necessarily want to do it because he was just Mrs. Doubtfire. He didn't want to do the drag thing again, and he's Harry.
Right, the
And-
waxing. Oh my God.
Armand was supposed to be Steve Martin, but he had scheduling conflicts, so they recast, obviously, which is what they did.
Which I could not picture any other scene except for the singing right here
Oh
for some
my
reason.
God,
I'm like, I
yes.
could hear Steve Martin doing this whole part
on
right
the
here.
piano,
Yes.
for sure.
So they're singing, they're dancing.
Right.
Agador comes in singing.
Take it, Agador.
Dinner is served.
Yeah, and he does this bowing thing with all the bowing.
So
And they,
Armand
all
sends
sit
Val
down,
to put a note on the door for Mom, like, please don't fucking come in.
and they're like, "Oh, these plates.
This China pattern.
It's Greek. There's
naked
like,
Greek boys playing leapfrog.
what is this? Give me my glasses." Like,
And they're all,
what?
no, you forgot your glasses.
Right,
You don't
like
have
we
them.
can't, whatever. And he comes in right in the nick with the soup.
Yes,
The
pour that
peasant
soup.
soup.
In
There's
the
shrimps.
seafood chowder.
Yeah, it's seafood chowder. And he's like, "Isn't this an egg?"
A whole hard-boiled egg, and he didn't even let him put the shrimp in it, so I don't
There's
think there's any
shrimp.
seafood in that seafood chowder.
He's like, "It's sweet and sour peasant soup. Why would you tell him it's seafood chowder?"
And they all take like one bite, and they all go
It's
for
all-
the bread.
What?
They're all, just
He's
soak
like,
that
"What is
up."
peasant soup?" He's like, "I don't know. I made it up."
Like, what do they eat normally?
They probably get takeout.
Well,
If Agador
they-
is never cooked for them,
So I saw a thing that said that because he owns the club, there's a restaurant. He could
So
have
they
ordered
just-
down to the restaurant.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I guess, when you see the restaurant, somebody's dropping food on the floor and tries to put it
Ah,
back
so
on
there's
the
some
plate.
cut
So
scenes.
Armand probably knows, like,
okay, so
you don't
want to
get food from our restaurant.
But yeah, why he thought Agador could cook and why ordering out from anywhere else was not the best idea.
I don't know why they would have thought. I mean, I guess because the whole thing was so ridiculous and stressful.
I guess, yeah. So they're talking about dead parents and eating soup and okay, it's coffee in the living room time.
Right, because he didn't make the fucking entree.
He just made soup. He's like, it is
It's
an
like a
entree.
stew.
It's like a stew.
And he
If it
was
had the
like-
shrimp in it.
Right, and right here where Robin Williams is like, "Fuck the shrimp," and he falls. He fell for real.
Oh, really?
And they're trying not to laugh because it's like a whole whatever. And he's like, puts the shrimp in the fucking. Oh, fuck the shrimp.
So now Katherine arrives.
Of course, like she makes it there finally, and now the music starts up. They're all sitting around the confessional.
Yeah, and you hear the nightclub music coming up, and they're like, well, where's that?
What is that? And it's like, oh, is it the nightclub
Albert's
on
like,
the corner?
oh, it's like down the street or whatever.
thought
Oh,
it
we
was
live on
somebody-
top of a nightclub?
I thought this was somebody's television.
I'm afraid I'm a bit naive. And she goes to scratch her wig, and the whole fucking thing moves
Oh my
on her
God,
head.
It gets stuck on the T thing.
It's
Like,
like
she's just a
slipping.
small town gal.
So everybody takes her fucking dad,
ride?
brother, or whatever, dad, son, and fiance
the
all take her to
fiancé
go fix her
into
wig.
the bathroom. They all leave to help her. So Senator knows what's going on. She's just a small town girl.
Oldest story in the world. Pretentious
living
European.
in a lonely world.
I've seen it all before. Kevin, you're rambling.
Yeah. It's just like Aristotle
Makes me
Onassis.
furious.
I know. Like,
He doesn't
what-
even let her run the house. He's
He
in the
lets-
kitchen. He's serving. He tells that beige,
Beige
savage,
savage.
what to do. Beige
a
savage.
bag? Beige?
That is the most
savage.
vanilla racist insult I've ever heard.
Like, I don't even
Beige
know if I
savage.
should be offended
I
by
don't
that.
know.
It's so ridiculous. Beige.
And Diane Wiest just looking at him appalled, like, what
I know.
the
She's
fuck?
like, what the fuck? You don't
are
have any of
talking
this.
about?
You didn't have any of this empathy for, what did she call Betsy?
I don't know.
Betsy Jackson?
Oh, the wife of the senator. That, yeah.
And he was like, she's trash.
So they're in there panicking, trying to get Mama's wig back on.
Right. And meanwhile, Katherine shows up at
Yes.
the door and rings the bell.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it's me. It's Mrs. Goldman. I forgot my key. And they're like, hold on.
How many mothers does Val have?
Yeah. And he was like, may I take your purse as usual or for the first time?
As usual, or for the first time. So Albert comes in and Val
Yeah.
pulls his wig off and
How
he's
many
like,
mothers-
just
Val,
the one.
Again, you come in here snatching a fucking wig. Val, God damn it. The disrespect this boy gives
I
his
know.
mother.
I know. They did not raise this boy right.
I mean, he comes through and says, "This is my mother."
When I'm sorry, I don't even understand how this kid is the way he is. If he grew up in a South Beach
What
nightclub,
does he want with
above
these
a South
people?
Beach nightclub, how did you become this straight
A
conservative?
Away to like a boarding school or something.
Right? Did he not really live with
I
them all the
mean,
time?
he
Like,
told his dad, like, he goes, "No, you've done this before at school." And he was like, "Yeah, but you were a baby and your teacher was an idiot and I didn't want you to get hurt. Now
Yeah.
you're a man. Like, you should be able to deal
I
with
don't
this."
understand how this
Why
kid
is
ended
he in
up
a
this
frat?
way.
Why is he
Yes,
so vanilla?
that's what
Why
I'm
is he
saying.
so straight? Why
He
does
should
he wanna
be fun. What the fuck?
He should be. He's rebelling.
He's rebelling by being boring.
Right? I guess. Fine. Rebel by being boring.
So yeah, so now everything is revealed. They're Jewish, they're men.
Right.
And she has to
She's a man. They're
she has
gay.
to tell
And,
him
like,
several times this is a man. He
Senator
does not
Keeley
see
is
it.
not getting this,
No.
even with the wig snatch. Like, sir.
I feel like I'm insane.
He has the nerve to say, "I hope this won't influence your vote." They were not voting for you in the
No,
first place.
no.
And you're a senator in a different state. Is that even a thing they can do?
Right? No, they can't vote for you.
I
And
didn't think so.
he's like, it's still me, just with one tiny difference.
Well, it's not tiny.
Not tiny.
And Albert, did you just say you meant everything you said?
right? It's still me, but like, so I'm still super conservative and believe in killing the
Well,
women
'cause,
who
like,
want abortions.
He
Only
said
I have
something
a
about
dick.
like a return to family values
Yeah.
and a strong moral center. Like, Albert. Albert. Okay.
And so the senator's like, I realize you want to get married, but how many lives do you have to ruin to do
I'm
it?
up for re-election. We're in the middle of a scandal.
And so Barbara's like, I would have really liked to have
I know,
you as
he's
my
like-
family. She's
like,
like,
let's
she's
go, 'cause
totally
she's
into having
17.
two gay dads. She's 17 and
Well,
from
who
a fucking
wouldn't?
conservative background.
They're
she's
way
like, this
more
is
fun.
amazing.
I know.
So they go, but the reporters are out
Mother's
there.
like, somebody has to like me best.
I know, poor Diane Wiest.
I know. She's got a Wiest infection.
So he goes to leave, but the fucking reporters are out there, so they slam the door.
Right.
You gotta
He's like,
sneak
did you
out.
get him? He's like, no, I would have if you hadn't have said Senator Keeley.
Right? So they're looking at the window at all the reporters.
And why would they be helping them?
I don't know.
Why would they
Because
like,
his,
fucking bye? You want
because
to
his
leave?
son still wants to marry this daughter, I guess.
Well, she said, like, I'm not going to be part of your family. Like,
Well,
it's
she
not
said,
gonna
I
work."
really wish I could be part of your family. So maybe they figure if they could help this dude, maybe she'll still.
Maybe, I guess. I
be
guess
able
they're
to
doing
marry
it for her
him.
because she's nice.
So
Fine.
they are like, oh, let's slip out with the audience at the end.
He's like, but that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for him to leave this building. He's
And
like, I
it-
gotta leave eventually.
And is this the redhead reporter fucking Ann Cusack again?
Yes, it is.
I was like, Ann Cusack's about to be the
Yes,
most talked about actress on Doom
is.
Generation.
It is, in fact, and of the Cusack.
Yes. And then here we go again. We are family. And Armand comes out, whispers to some staff. There's no story if they don't get him coming out. So here comes Gene Hackman in this
Oh
platinum
my God.
rose golden girl
Miss Hackman.
and a frosted pink lip.
Wow.
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 And mom in her little like
Oh my
leather
God, and
fucking
her leathers.
yes.
And like,
Everyone's
he's like,
all
I told them
dressed
they
up.
put me in white. It makes me look fat.
And they dance out.
Right. They get right past the
And
press.
Mama gets mistaken for a man. I've never done it with a man before. There's a
the
first time for everything.
And they get out and they get into Catherine's waiting car. And Senator Keeley tells the driver to meet them in 20 minutes.
And
He's
he's
like,
all-
not for $1 million.
He does not recognize his ass.
Well, thank goodness, because he's been taking money from fucking everybody to tell
He
him
sure
their asses
has.
this whole time. So thank goodness.
Yes,
That
'cause
would
he
have
would've
ended
told
badly for
immediately
Senator
on
Keeley.
them.
And they do indeed marry.
Yes.
They get married.
The end scene is the wedding. All
this-
three moms are crying.
This bride's side and groom's side is like wild.
Yes.
At this wedding, it's like, which one's the mother? I just don't know.
Bob Dole is gorgeous. No.
No,
You are wrong, Queen.
Bob Dole is dead.
He's not gorgeous. I don't know if he
No.
was ever gorgeous, but not in my lifetime.
No, it's not. As far as I know, Bob Dole was never gorgeous. Not 1996, not ever.
So some old lady in the audience is like, which one is the mother?
I just don't know.
know.
And yay, an interfaith marriage. Everything works out. I guess. they're not
Alfred
worried
cries
about-
the loudest at the kiss.
And I wonder, did Senator Keeley get reelected? Did he shift some positions?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because of the
doesn't
in-laws?
tell us that.
Are Armand and Albert really right-wing gay conservatives?
Right, 'cause that
Log
exists.
cablins.
Woo!
Log cablin
cablins.
goblins.
That's a cablin goblin.
Yes.
A cablin. Nope.
It's
a
a-
cabin goblin. Cablin.
A cablin is a
Yes.
gay Republican.
But yeah, those exist, which is
They
weird.
do.
Yeah.
There
They
are
do.
gay white Republican men. I mean, I'm probably women too, I guess, but you hear men more.
Well, because men is the problem
White
with everything.
and man is all
Well,
you
that's
need to
that's
be.
all you need to know.
You
It's
got
like hearing
2 out of
Florida
3.
Man.
You got 2 out of 3.
And 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So I don't know that the Birdcage doomed us.
No.
But like we just love this movie. And
I
it's
do.
fun.
I
And
love
it's
it.
drag and it's
I'll watch it anytime it comes
it's
on.
Robin
I absolutely
Williams,
love
Nathan
it.
Lane. Come on.
So goofy. There's a lot to talk about.
And the one thing
because
we
what the
didn't
fuck?
talk about was, I'm sorry, but Hank Azaria and fucking Daisy Dukes.
Look at that girl with the Daisy Dukes on.
He
I
got a
want you
bod
to. Yes, he brought that body.
for being what? Give me some of the voice actor names. I can't even think of all the characters. He's done so many cartoons, right? The racist ones, right?
The
For being all of the
Simpsons.
racist Simpsons characters, or
Well,
at
I
least
guess
one of
he
them.
also said
Apu.
that the
It was a different.
voice that he ended up with, that this Agador or whatever, it turns out he was like, it was my grandmother.
Oh,
I guess his
okay.
grandmother sounded like
But
that.
he got the body in this.
yes, body, yada, yada.
Thank
Now,
you,
guys,
Hank.
all right,
All right,
Hank.
all right.
Oh, and male names Val.
Ma-
Is short for Valerie with just an I.
Oh,
it
okay.
is.
Valine.
Valine. Valentine. I've heard Valentine,
Valentine.
Valentino. I've heard as
Oh,
men.
Valentino.
Valens.
Valens.
A valance on my window. That's what Val is short for.
So we have a voicemail.
Oh, yes. Oh,
It's a
yes.
little bit long, but it is worth it. You guys, this is coming from Newman from the Movies for Days podcast.
Newman.
He's left us, I feel like he's left us a voicemail before, and there was some sort of problem with the voicemail. I think he says something on it about, I hope this voicemail came through.
Right,
okay.
watch this not work now.
And I know this is the problem with recording in advance. This was a response to the Willy Wonka episode, which is now, a month
I
ago?
know.
At the point of, but he left this right after the episode.
Of course.
But I got to play this for you because it's amazing.
Hey, this is Newman from the Movies for Days podcast. Responding to your recent episode on Charlie's Angels, you mentioned the fine dancing styles and skills of one Crispin
Nope.
Glover.
This is the wrong one.
That's not it.
This is the last message
the
from
last
him.
one.
Hold up. There's a new one. Nope. Wait. Go back.
Nope.
God damn it.
Wait.
There's too many. Here we go. This is the same person. I swear to God.
Wow,
This is, I
that's
think
funny.
that's why, because I think I clicked his number and the last message came up. Okay. This is the real one.
Okay, that's it.
I never thought my life could be anything but dumb fuckery. But suddenly I began to see a bit of badassery. 'Cause I just heard Doom Gen podcast. I just heard Doom Gen podcast on my phone. And with the Doom Gen podcast, I don't smoke Hey, friends. It's Newman from Movies for Days. I hope my voicemail actually works this time. Loved your episode on Willy Wonka. Laughed a lot at how much y'all hate Grandpa Joe. I happen to love the character and the actor, so 2 movies you should check out with him that are great. 1981's Dead and Buried. He's a creepy mortician in a small seaside town with lots of murder. And the original Miracle on 34th Street. He's the postal worker in the mailroom who's like, hey, we got too many of these Santa Claus letters. Fuck it, let's send them to the courthouse where they're going to put them in the crazy house. Yeah, jingle bells, jingle bells. So there you go. There's 2 great movies with Jack Albertson. And you are 2 awesome podcasters that I love listening to. So have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Newman.
Oh, wait. There was the very last part that I missed where he said, want to go get high?
Oh, yeah. Want to go get high?
That was the very last part. Thank you, Newman. And we've got more voicemails coming at you in our 3rd anniversary episode.
Yo.
You guys still got time, 702-720-DOOM.
Yep. You have
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Actually, by the time they're hearing this, I bet we recorded it already. But we could tax them on the end.
Well, yeah, no, we would have recorded it already, but
you could still, we still want to hear it, and we can put them in the next episode. So if you got a message for us,
bitch, we are the
we could
chief
play
of
them on the
police.
live. We haven't done that. We haven't
That's
played any
true.
voicemails on the live. That could be a thing.
True.
So yeah, 702-720-3666. Go to doomgenerationpod.com. Go to Threadless. We have new merch. We have shit that I don't know if you need or want, but you can get a shower curtain with our faces on it.
I mean, we'll watch you if you want it.
You got a baby onesie in there.
Sure.
Why? I don't know. You got a
'Cause
baby?
your baby loves it.
Is your baby now the new Doom generation? Put it on.
Sure.
Put it on a onesie. We got a skateboard deck.
Yeah, you can grind on our faces.
$74. That's a lot of money, but
It
skateboard
is.
decks are a lot of money.
But I don't know how much that shit costs.
I don't know. But go to threadless.com/Doom Generation or Doom Generation Pod. I don't know. If it's not on there, the link is on doomgenerationpod.com.
Is it worth it?
There's links to our YouTube lives. Go watch our YouTube lives if you haven't. We got one coming last Saturday of every month at 7 p.m. Not Eastern, Pacific.
On this day.
Oh, is this is the last tonight? If you're listening to this on the day it comes out.
Tonight.
Oh, that was bad. Gonna make it right tonight.
I feel like we did this last time.
So
We
bad.
can't not
Did
do
we?
it. I think so.
Oh God, we can't do this every time.
We're gonna.
We should do Phil Collins next time. Or was that Phil Collins?
Yes, that is Phil
I
Collins.
was thinking In the Air Tonight.
That's also Phil Collins. Yes, he only talks about tonight, no other days.
And Susu Studios.
Studios. So yeah, go check us out live tonight on YouTube, and until next week,
We'll talk at you next time.
later, Doomers.